Hey out there and welcome. I'm Kate and this is going to be an intermediate flow. We're going to tiptoe, balance, and move through the hips for hopefully what is a fun practice today. If you have them, grab a couple of blocks just to be prepared. A blanket if you want. We may not need it, but you can have that too. Find a quiet spot, roll out your mat, and I'll see you in a few. All right, so we're gonna start on our backs. So go ahead, if you want a blanket underneath your head, you can do that. And you're just gonna roll back. Take a second here. Give yourself a moment with your feet flat on the mat. Take a couple of breaths. And now you can slide your legs out straight. If your low back still feels tender and tight, you can keep your legs just like this. If you want to start to move into the inner thighs, move into your hips here, you can bring your legs into a Supta Baddha Konasana. And you can take your fists and bring them right underneath where your leg kind of meets your outer butt cheek. It's very technical placement there. And that will help give you a little bit of support while crushing your fists. But it does help if you don't have blocks. If you do have blocks, you can place them underneath your knees for even more support and less fist crushing. So I'm going to take a few breaths here. Feel your shoulders relax and the weight of your head fall down into the mat. And take just a moment to acknowledge the fact that you found the time to roll out your mat. You made some space in your day for these next few moments. Acknowledge that and celebrate it, however your practice goes today. Take another breath in. And when you exhale, you're gonna draw your knees together and pull them in. Maybe roll some circles on your lower back. Yeah, and then you're gonna let your left foot come down to the mat, draw your right knee in, and just take some circles into your right hip. And then in the other direction. Okay, then you're gonna bring that leg into a half happy baby. And maybe it feels super early, so you can keep your left foot flat on the mat. If you want a little more juice, you can stretch the leg out and work into that left heel, even as you draw the right knee over to the outer edge of your ribs there. Take a breath. And you're gonna bend that left knee again. Take your right ankle over the top of the thigh, and we're gonna work into a figure four. Can release. You can keep it down here if you're still feeling super tight. Bring your hands behind your knee or over top of your knee, depending on where your hip is today. I mean, your hip is on your hip, but I mean, depending on how mobile it feels today. All right. And then from here, you're gonna slowly lower your leg back down onto the mat. We're gonna keep the figure four across here. Bring your arms alongside your body, shuffle your shoulder blades in, and you're just gonna lift your hips off the mat. Just a nice figure four bridge pose here. And notice if your right hip starts to soften down, try to keep it lifted, just in line with that left one. Take a breath in. When you exhale, you're gonna lower your hips and draw the knee in. Inhale, left foot to the mat. Exhale, lift your hips. Inhale, lower. Exhale, draw your left knee in. One more of those. Lower your foot, lift your hips, and lower your hips, and lift your foot. Okay, we're gonna add a little funk to this, right? So keep your left foot down, gonna lift your hips, and then take your right leg, stretch it straight up. All right, keeping those hips nice and square, you're gonna bend your elbows, press down through your upper arms. And you can make fists with your hands if you wanna, or you can keep your fingers extended. You're gonna take this right leg and dip it out to the side, bring it back up, cross it over, set your hips down. Okay, same thing again. Root down through the upper arms, lift your hips. Take the right leg, stretch it up. Bop it out to the right. Bring it back up. Cross it over and set it down. We're getting right into it. One more of those, then we're gonna add even more. So lift, extend that right leg, sweep it out to the right, bring it back up, cross your ankle, and lower it down. Okay? We're gonna add a little bit more to this, a nice mobility flow that I learned on Instagram. So I'm sharing it with you now. Okay, I'm gonna lift it up, stretch. Okay, stay rooted. Gonna open out to the side, and then bend your right knee. You're gonna slide your right shin behind your left heel. So now your right shin's on the mat. Root down into that right shin. Lift your left leg up. Place it down. You got this. Kick out to the right. Sweep it up. Bend and cross your ankle and set it down. 2 more. Lift. Extend your leg. Sweep it to the right. Fold it in now, root through that right shin. Try to keep the hips lifted as you float the left leg up. Press it down, kick out to the right, straight up to the sky, cross it over, and set it down. Okay, one more. Lift it up, stretch it up, kick it out to the side, and then cross it behind, root down, lift your left leg, plant it into the mat, kick it out, sweep it up, cross it over, and plop yourself onto the mat for a second, feet wide. Let both knees drop over to the right, up through the middle, let them drop to the left. Okay, and then both knees back up through the middle. You're gonna take your left knee into your chest and bring it into your left hand and just do some circles here. You know it's gonna be a good one when we're doing that in the first 5 minutes. And then start circling the other direction. You got it. And a half happy baby with this now cranky left leg. And again, you can keep your right foot flat on the mat or stretch it out depending on how much intensity you would like in your happy baby pose. Take a breath here. And then you're gonna rebend the right leg, take your ankle, cross it over, and then hug the right knee in. And this side may be different. It is on me. So if you find you can move a little deeper into this one or it's a little more sticky, just go with it. Gonna relax your shoulders and breathe. Remember to keep this left foot flexed. You don't wanna get sloppy through the ankle. Take a breath. And then we're gonna lower your right leg, shoulder blades plug in. The crazy isn't gonna start yet. You're just gonna push into your right heel, lift your hips, and just work on opening the left knee toward the mat as you lift your left hip up and away from the mat. Yeah, take a breath. When you exhale, you're gonna lower your hips, squeeze your right knee in. Inhale, lower it down. Lift your hips on your exhale. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze that right knee in. One more, lower it down. Lift it up. And then lower it down and squeeze it in. Okay, here we go. Gonna keep this formation of the legs, press into the floor, and then float the left leg up. And you're gonna bend your elbows now and root through the upper arms. So you feel that lift in your chest. You've got the support because now you're gonna take your left leg out to the side, bring it back up, cross it over, and set it down. Okay, 2 more of those before we get super nutsy. Lift, extend, open, up, cross, and lower. Okay, so the person I learned this from, his handle is Action Hero. I'll put him in the comments so you can follow him. He's got some great mobility stuff. We're gonna lift those hips, lift up, sweep it out to the right, or out to the left, sorry, back up, cross over, and lower it down. Okay, so now we add the funk. Ready? Root into the forearms, lift your hips, stretch it up, take it over to the left, You're gonna fold it behind your right leg, root down, hips stay lifted, right leg reaches, press down, extend out to the left, bring it back up, cross over, and lower down. Again, lift, extend, open. You're gonna cross it behind, lift up through the right leg, press it down, stretch it out, bring it up, cross it over, and down. The laundry list is long on this one. One more. Press into this right heel, lift it up, take it out to the left, cross it behind, right leg up, right foot down, left leg out, sweep it up, cross it over, lower it down, both feet on the mat, take them wide, plop them to the right. Oh my gosh. And then knees back up through the middle, let them plop to the left. Here we go. Come back up through the middle with your knees. You're gonna grab the knees for a second here, take them wide. Then take your hands behind the backs of your knees here, and we're gonna roll up into a squat. We're gonna roll right up into malasana. So here we go. Roll it up, plant your feet. You can use your hands. Find your malasana. And while you're here, you're just gonna walk your fingertips forward for a second and shake out your head. Yes. All right, bring your hands to prayer here. Okay, and then you're gonna take your left hand and sweep it out to the left. You wanna bring the arm to the inside of your knee here, right? So you can lean your shoulder into your inner knee and just take your right arm and stretch it up. Yeah. Then come back through the middle. Same thing to the right side. You're gonna sweep over to the right, lean gently into this inner knee, and take your left arm and reach it up. That's it, inhale. And when you exhale, we're gonna let this go. Come forward onto the balls of your feet. Start to walk your feet in. So now we're here, inner thighs hug together. Walk your hands back, and we're just gonna work on finding a little bit of balance here. If you find the balance super difficult, you can always grab blocks and work on finding your stacking here before you work on getting your balance. Makes it a little bit easier. And then from here, we're gonna come into Utkatasana, trying to stay on the balls of your feet. Lift it up. Oh, it's not easy. And then staying on the balls of your feet, come all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, inhale. When you exhale, slow fold into Uttanasana, staying on the balls of your feet. And when I say slow, I mean like super slow. Keep hugging the inner thighs together. Oh, if the heels drop, it's okay. Fingertips can come to the mat, or you can sweep the arms up and back behind you. Oh, I'm losing it. And then chair, staying on the balls of your feet. When you exhale, lower your heels and fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Take a second to really root through your feet. Shoulder blades in. Find some length through the back body. Exhale and fold. Press into those feet. Inhale. Come all the way back up. Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale. And when you exhale, bring your hands down through prayer. Okay, we're gonna try one more of those. Just to warm up your feet a little bit more. Okay. Okay, here we go. Inhale, come out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. As your fingertips reach up, come high onto the balls of your feet. Deep breath here. And then let's sit in chair. Let's chair it first. Lower it down. We got this. And then we're gonna fold Uttanasana. Sweep the arms back behind you as you do. Oh, work to straighten your legs. Chair pose again. Inhale. It's a struggle. It's okay. Maybe it's not for you. Exhale and fold. Drop your heels. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. I'm gonna walk your hands forward slightly. Walk your feet back. Downward facing dog. Take a moment here. Rock a little bit back and forth. Can work on stretching your heels back so you get even more extension through the sole of your foot. Yes. All right, inhale, rock forward into plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin. Baby cobra. Curl it up. And release your forehead, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Press it up and back. Yeah. All right. Inhale, take your right leg, sweep it up behind you. Exhale, drag that knee to your right tricep and squeeze. Inhale, up and back to the tricep and squeeze. One more. Up and back to the tricep and squeeze. And then step it forward. Finding your lizard pose. You can use blocks under your hands. We're going to lower this back knee. And breathe. Okay, so maybe you can lower onto your forearms here. If you can, you're going to go for it now. Going to tuck the back toes, lift your back knee. If you're not on the forearms, don't panic. We're going to step back into either a full plank or a forearm plank. If you're in full plank, now you can lower onto your forearms and join us here in a forearm plank. Okay? You're going to take your left forearm, cross it in front toward your right wrist, right side, side plank. Or sorry, left side, forearm plank. Somewhere in there, there's the correct thing. Take a breath. And then your right forearm's gonna come back down to the mat. Regular old forearm plank. Start to walk the feet and bend your knees. Dolphin pose. Press through the thumbs. Inner wrists wrap down toward the mat. Feel your shoulder blades draw toward your sitting bones and your sitting bones draw up and back. Then you're gonna gaze forward. Drop your knees to the mat for a second. We're gonna come into a baby crow. All right? I'm gonna get rid of this because it's getting in the way a little bit. So we're here, right? And then you're gonna come onto the balls of your feet and walk your feet in. If you need to, if your feet can't get super close, you can always take your forearms back, which is where I'm gonna go with it. And then you're gonna hug your knees in to your upper arms, take your gaze forward, and we're gonna work into crow here. Ready? Dip your nose toward your thumbs and see if you can sweep your feet back. It's really low to the mat. I could touch my nose to the mat if I wanted to. Then we're gonna place it down. Come back up onto the hands. Bring your inner thighs together. All right? Now we're gonna kind of sew the inner thighs or like zipper your inner thighs in toward each other. Keep that zipper, but take your right foot and bring it forward. Left hand can come to the floor or onto a block or a water bottle or whatever you have handy. And now from here, as you balance on your left foot, you're gonna grab a yoga toe hold on the right foot. Pull the arm bone back into the socket. Try to see if you can. Shift your weight. Pull back on that big toe as you push through your heel. Keep squeezing your inner thighs and maybe you can find some balance here. All right, hands to the floor. We're gonna kick this right leg back, standing split. Oh. That's it. Lengthen your spine, gaze forward, push evenly through both heels. And when you exhale, drag that right knee in. We're gonna come up into a nesting pigeon. Hook your right ankle to the top of your left thigh and tip over. Or not, you know. Or not as ideal, but you know, it's all good. Sink your hips back and breathe. Press the floor away with that left foot. You're gonna step the right foot back into like a baby warrior one. And since we're toward the middle of the middle of the back of your mat, gonna step your left foot forward and then swivel yourself around. So we're in a goddess pose here. And just start to rock gently, side to side. Yep. Okay, come through the middle. We're gonna come onto the ball of your left foot, onto the ball of the right foot. Both feet, lift those heels. Take your arms up, sink your hips. Yow! Inhale. When you exhale, drop your heels. You're gonna spin yourself toward the back of the mat. So toward that right foot. Bring it around. Drop the left knee. Left hand's gonna come to the mat, reach around with the right, find a little quad stretch here, roll your right shoulder back, and breathe. Start to peel your chest away from your inner thigh. Inhale. And when you exhale, you're gonna lower that back foot. Come on up, warrior two. Toward the back of the mat. That's it. Flip your front palm, reach up, stretch back, reverse your warrior. Stay reversed here. You're gonna straighten your right leg, spin your right toes toward the long edge of your mat, and then sweep the left toes forward, and we're gonna come down left side, side angle. Deep breath here. When you exhale, windmill both hands down to the floor, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga if you want it. Baby cobra or upward facing dog. And pull it back, downward facing dog. All right, second side. Take your left leg, lift it up, sweep it back. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Up and back. Knee to left tricep. One more. Up and back. Drag it in. And then step it forward to the outside of your hand. For lizard, you can lower your back knee. And take a moment here. Soften the space between your shoulder blades. From here, we're gonna lower it down. If your forearms hit the mat, that's cool. If you stay up on the hands, that's fine. I'll talk you through it. No big deal here. Once you're on the forearms, tuck the back toes, lift your back knee. We're gonna step back into a forearm plank. If you can't step back into forearm plank here, step back into regular plank, then lower onto your forearms. And now we're here. Okay? From here, you're gonna take your right arm across toward that left wrist, roll into the outer edge of your right foot. Now we're doing our right side. Forearm side plank. Press into the floor, lift up. Left forearm is gonna come back down. Finding your forearm plank, spread your fingers, press into the thumbs, start to walk your feet in. Or lumber your feet in. I felt like that was a little lumbery. Shoulder blades down the back. Keep the arm bones plugged into the backs of the sockets here as you breathe into your dolphin. All right, gaze forward. Gonna walk those knees forward. You can slide the forearms back. We're gonna do another baby crow. Maybe coming to the outer edges of your arms is really hard, vicing in, right? So maybe you wanna take the knees to the backs of your triceps and hold them there. Whatever works for you, keep pressing into the forearms. See if you can lift up and go for the launch. If it's not working for you today, it's okay. Come back a little bit later and try it again. No big deal. Here we go. From here, hands underneath. You're gonna zipper your inner thighs. You can grab your block, bring it to the right side, or you can keep your fingertips on the floor, whatever. Here we go. Inner thighs draw in toward each other, step the left foot forward. All right, you're gonna grab a yoga toe hold on that left foot. You can keep this right hand on the block or on the floor as we work on squeezing the inner thighs, lift that left foot up. And then maybe from here, we work a little bit of balance, and then hands come back down to the mat or onto the blocks here. We're gonna shift it back, standing split, extend that left leg back behind you, and breathe. Try to square off your hips, kick back, shake out your head, and your neck. Yeah. And then gaze forward, draw this left knee in, come all the way up. Nesting pigeon, hook your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Sink your hips back. Try to keep your spine long. Core engaged too. I mean, why not, right? And then come on up to stand. Take this left foot, step it back, little baby warrior one. And then step your right foot forward a hair. And we're gonna spin around toward the left edge of your mat, coming into a goddess pose here. Okay? Excuse my back. But we're just gonna rock a little bit back and forth. That's it. And then come back through center. Here we go. Try to lift onto the balls of your feet
As you do, feel your hips sink down, your fingertips lift up. Inner thighs keep working away from each other. Inhale. Exhale, lower it down. From here, we're gonna spin toward the back of the mat. Hands come to either side of that back foot. Drop your right knee. Right hand's gonna stay to the inside of that left foot. Reach around. Here we go. Find your quad stretch. Roll your left shoulder back. Lean into that right hand. But keep pressing the floor away, right? You don't want to drop your weight down, but keep kind of lifting even as you fight the breath or fight for breath. Okay? Release that back foot, tuck your back toes, warrior two to the back edge of your mat. Keep your legs strong. And then from here, you're gonna flip that left palm toward the ceiling, reach up, stretch back. And then press into that left foot, straighten your left leg. You're gonna roll the left toes in, sweep the right toes open, side angle to the front of the mat. Inhale. We got this. Another breath here. Oh, and then when you exhale, gonna windmill it down, step it back. Downward facing dog. Oh, spread your fingers. Draw those arm bones in. Give your head a little shake here. Take your gaze forward, walk or hop, Uttanasana, top of the mat. Lengthen on your inhale and fold as you exhale. And press the floor away. Inhale, come all the way out, reach it up. Exhale, hands down through prayer. Okay, one more little baby thing here, okay? Before we hit the road. Inhale, come out and up. Exhale and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take it back. Right leg's gonna sweep up, inhale. When you exhale, bend that knee, take those right toes, tap them to the right wrist. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, tap them in. One more. Up and back. Tap them in. Up and back. We're gonna step into lizard to the outside of this right hand. Keep the back knee lifted. Feel your spine lengthen as you push back through your left heel. From here, we're gonna come into Malasana, step the left foot to the left hand, sink your hips, lift your chest, and then sink your chest, lift your hips, plant your hands. We're gonna come into crow. You can walk the feet back, bring them closer together, take the knees to the upper arms as high as you can. You can shift your weight forward, work one heel in, then the other. If this is a practice that you're not used to doing, you can grab your block. Right? Let your forehead rest on the block. Helps to go a little bit lower. Not gonna lie. And then lift up. And then practice lifting your head. Wherever you are, we're gonna set it right back down, okay? Press into this right foot, standing split, kick the left leg back. Walk your right hand forward. You can even grab the block if it's still there. Gonna press into this right hand and slowly work to stack the left hip and the left shoulder open for Ardha Chandrasana. Take that top arm, reach it up, inhale. If you wanna work your Chapasana, you can always bend this knee, grab for the top of the foot, breathe here. And then extend back through your half moon, and then a warrior two. And breathe. Here we go, Skandasana, bend your left knee, straighten the right. And from here, we're gonna come back into a lizard. So sneak yourself to the inside of this right leg, spin yourself around, and then take your right arm underneath the right leg and hang here. You may be good right here, and that's cool, you can stay here. If you wanna take it a little deeper, walk your hands wide. Deeper still, hands can lift off the mat, and maybe find your bind here. Hug that inner knee to your shoulder, shoulder to your inner knee, keep pushing through your back heel, and breathe. We're gonna release the hands, lower your back knee. Okay, so we're gonna do some funk right here because we're, you know, warm enough and ready to do it. So we're gonna do tiptoe lizard pose. So we're gonna stay to the inside here with this right hand. Take your left forearm, walk it forward, and bring it onto the mat. So your elbow, your left elbow and the ball of your right foot are gonna be about the same place. You're gonna take your right hand now and grab your heel, your right heel with your right hand. Lift your back knee, come onto the ball of your right foot. Here we go. You're gonna shift your weight forward, hop the left foot in, see if you can lift it up. I'm not far enough forward with my forearm, so play with where your weight needs to go. Lift that knee in, and then we're gonna kick it up. Step it back. And maybe it's not pretty. It doesn't matter. Downward facing dog. We'll do it on the other side and you'll see which side's easier and whatever. Inhale, rock forward. Vinyasa how you want it. Oh, and downward facing dog. Let's do it. The left leg's gonna lift, inhale. Toes to that wrist, give them a tap. Up and back. And give it a tap. Boop, up and back. We're gonna tap the wrist and then step it into lizard. Back knee stays lifted. Take your chest, reach it forward. As you do, kick back into your right heel. From here, right foot's gonna step to the outside of your right hand. Sink your hips, lift your chest. Malasana. And now you're gonna drop your hands, lift your hips, crow pose. You can use the block underneath your forehead. You can use the block underneath your toes. Try to lift those heels in toward your butt. Big toes touch. We set it back down. Okay, standing split on that left leg. Root down. I'm gonna step it forward just a bit and kick it back. Oh, yeah. You can grab the block if you want it. Ardha Chandrasana, slowly start to roll open. Push through the right heel. Take your top arm, reach it up. If you want Chapasana, little sugar cane, you can reach for the foot. Roll it open. Extend it back out, slow and steady, step it back. Warrior two. And breathe here. Inhale. And Skandasana, when you exhale, bend that right knee. Take a breath. You can find your balance. And we're gonna come into lizard to this left side. Ready? Sneak it through. Here we go. Take the left arm. You're gonna put that left leg on just like a backpack, a strap, right? Sling it over your shoulder. Left hand comes to the outside of your left foot. We're gonna float the right leg up. And this is where the pose can end for you. No big deal either way, okay? If you wanna take it a little deeper, fingertips are gonna walk out. Keep this back leg active. Maybe the arms can float up. Maybe you can grab a bind here. Knee into shoulder, shoulder into knee. Keep the length of your body extending. And then release. Gonna drop the back knee for a second. Step your left foot back. Come onto the ball of your left foot and grab that left heel with your left hand. So we're gonna take this right forearm down onto the mat. I'm gonna bring it slightly forward of my foot because the last time I felt like I didn't have enough space. So you can play with how much space you feel like you need in this tiptoe lizard type thing here. Press into the floor with this left foot, gonna lift the right knee. Keep pushing the floor away with the right hand. You're gonna hop the left or the right foot in, float it up, and then we kick it back. Step it back, plant your hands. Whoa, downward facing dog. And maybe that was a nosedive. It's okay. Rewind it and watch my first side again and see that it's not always pretty, right? It doesn't have to be. Take a breath here. And then lower your knees to the mat. Slide yourself all the way down onto your belly. Take your right arm out to the side. Palm faces the floor, left hand underneath your left shoulder. Let's roll onto that right side. Stack your legs. You can bend your knees here. Step the left foot back. Breathe for a moment. And then extend your legs, roll back onto your stomach. And we're just gonna switch sides. Slide just right arm underneath you. Take your left arm out. Here we go. Roll it open on the left side. You can hang out here. If you wanna bend your knees, step that right foot back. And breathe. And then extend back through the legs. Roll back onto your stomach. Slide your hands underneath you. Press up through table and slide your hips back to your heels. Take a moment to rest in child's pose. Feel the back body start to extend and open up. Can let your hips slide a little bit side to side. And then come on up, sweep your feet to one side, take a seat, stretch your legs out in front. From here, you're gonna take your left leg, draw your knee in, and then step it over. And hug around with that right arm. Walk the left hand behind you. Keep extending through your right heel. As you inhale, lift, sit tall, and exhale, give yourself a little twist. Just to wring it out a little bit. Inhale through center. When you exhale, give yourself a minor twist to the right. And then extend. Through that left leg, draw the right knee in, step it over. Hug around with the left hand. Sit nice and tall. Sneak that right hand behind you. And as you push into your right foot, extend through your left. Sit tall and wring it out. And slowly come back through center now. From here, you're gonna bring both feet in. Knees open into a Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet can press. Grab your ankles, roll your shoulders back, sit nice and tall. As you exhale, you're gonna lift your chest up and over. Start to work yourself forward. And then slowly come on back up. Hug both knees in. Take your feet about hips distance, and you're gonna wrap your arms around your legs. Curl your chin into your chest, and take a moment here. And slide your hands underneath you. You're gonna shift yourself forward and lay yourself back. And take a moment to draw your knees in. And rock a little bit back and forth. Make some circles in your low back. And if there's anything else you feel like you want to do here, if you need a twist, if you need a happy baby, give yourself a moment to listen. And a lot of times, as hokey as maybe it sounds, your body tells you exactly what it needs. So it's good to get into the habit of listening to that. So whatever it is, give a listen. And then do the thing. And when you're done, you're gonna let your legs stretch out. If you've taken layers off and you wanna put them back on, you can always layer back up, staying warm. Feel your shoulder blades shuffle back underneath you. Arms rest out to your sides. Take a few breaths here. Feel yourself sink into the floor as you soften here.
And whatever's going on around you, see if you can keep your focus inward on your breath. Perhaps the most challenging thing of an at-home practice. Is keeping your mind from too much distraction. And let your next breath be a little deeper. Feel your awareness come back to the surface of your body as you move your fingers, wiggle your toes, let your head rock back and forth. And then when you feel ready, you're gonna draw your knees in one at a time. And slowly roll to your right side. And press into the strength of your arms and make your way up. And for a moment, find a comfortable seat. You can keep your eyes closed, your gaze inward as much as possible. Take a moment's pause. Bring your palms together into Anjali Mudra. Bow your head. Honor your time on the mat. This time you set aside just for you. And give yourself a pat on the back. It's not always easy to do it. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I look forward to practicing with you again. Comment below, let me know what you think of the practice. If there's anything else you want to see, let me know that too. Please, as always, subscribe and check out some other videos. Hit that like button, smash the notification bell. I'll see you next time.